We got rid of the fluff.
You know, the last time I was here, I thought I had a solution to printing off of my
Did it not work?
No, that air print came up and it just wouldn't work. So I don't know what that involved. I'm trying to find it again.
It's funny that you mentioned that because Becca was able to do it, but she got frustrated because anytime our Mac and the printer go to sleep, when they wake back up, they don't talk to each other. So the printer has to be reset.
So I'm back. I'm just for the heck of it.
Yeah.
I'm pulling up a photograph under messages.
Right.
Which happens to be my daughter and my great-grandson. So to print that, there's not much on the screen here. There's just a little camera and a little speaker.
From messages?
Yeah.
Yes. No, what you would first have to do under messages, I think we've mentioned this, but you would have to save the picture to your camera roll. So you click and hold a picture, and then there's the option to save it.
Oh, there's an option for more up there too.
Yep.
Should I try the more or the save?
No, it's the save. I've tried the more before. All more does is let you either delete it.
So apparently it's now saved it to my phone.
To your phone. So then you go to the photos.
Okay.
And it should be on there.
It is.
And then you would click on the picture. And then you would click on that little up arrow share button. And then the
under print.
Yep, print.
Well, when I did that, I got the air print at home. Now I'm not going to get anything here,
right?
Because I'm not connected to a Wi-Fi printer. But,
well, there is a printer here, but it won't print because it has user authentication codes that it needs.
Yeah, I see. It's got a long series.
Yeah, the RV, yeah.
That may answer my question. You know, it showed us how to print off the iPhone and iPad. So I tried it at home, and there was
didn't work for you either, or that one didn't show up.
Computer list, no printer listed, and it wouldn't let me.
Does your printer have Wi-Fi?
I don't know.
That's what you need to.
Okay.
If your printer, even if you connect your printer hardline, like you said, what's this cable? And I said, that's your printer cable. Even if you do that, if your printer has Wi-Fi, turn that on, and then just like any other device, you'll have to enter the password of your Wi-Fi network at home. But then it'll connect via Wi-Fi to your Wi-Fi network, and then your phone will be able to find it.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yep. Otherwise, you'd have to do it from the computer. Yep. So, and my, for example, I have a little photo printer at home. It's about yay big, and it literally all it does is print photos. And what it does is it creates, bless you, creates its own Wi-Fi network and its own password. And so you just disconnect your phone from the regular Wi-Fi, connect it to that little printer, and then you just print the pictures. I did that just a couple days ago. It's really nice, really handy.
I had something unusual happen, and I was hoping it was going to stay on. It kept coming up when I first opened my phone.
Yep.
I took a picture off of Bob's deck of the trees, and it was a beautiful scene. And he always shows up as Gerald's Cove. And I got this thing from Google Earth to use that photo, something or other.
Okay.
And I couldn't. I didn't click on it, but every once in a while it keeps coming up. Of course, it was there yesterday, but not today.
Well, yeah.
But I mean, how does Google Earth know? How do they know that? I mean, it was like, whoa, they know all about me.
I can't answer with 100% certainty, but I can answer with some confidence that because you have a Samsung phone, which runs the Android operating system. Android operating system has been developed and created by Google. When you set up your phone and you set up your photos on your phone, there was probably at some point some long license agreement or terms of service or something in which you said, okay, Google, you can see my photos.
So they
Or
can tell.
or if they're stored on the cloud, then Google can see them, and they may want that picture as because Google Maps is a huge program that tons of people use, and they may really like your picture of Gerald's Cove and want to use it as a landmark photo.
And if I just keep ignoring it, because it's really not a picture of Gerald's Cove, that's just the closest place to Bob's house.
Right.
It's his backyard.
Right.
So
Yeah.
if I just keep ignoring it, it'll go away.
Hopefully. Hopefully they get the picture. I don't know. It may be automated, so maybe not.
They're just going to get the picture.
Yeah. Well, no, they're not gonna. No, if it's asking you for permission, if you keep saying no, then they won't get the picture.
Okay.
But if you mean that get the picture metaphorically, if it's a person doing it, yes. If it's an automated program, then it'll probably keep trying.
So anytime I take a picture, it knows where I'm taking that picture.
Yeah, any picture that you take. So there's two. It's called metadata. Anytime you take a picture, you because your phone's GPS is on, it knows exactly where you took the picture, and it stores it. Part of a JPEG file is the metadata, which is your where it was taken, when it was taken, both date and time. Your oh my gosh, what's that thing called? The histogram, which is the range of colors that are in the picture. All of that information is a part of the picture. So your picture is not literally just a picture, but it's all of that extra information as well.
So if I forget where I've taken the picture, I can find that stuff out.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, and that's why a lot of people have said, make sure. A lot of people have said, maybe not a lot, but there are people who are concerned about those kinds of things. And so you can turn off, I don't know how to do it on an Android, but on an iPhone, there's a way to turn off location services for taking pictures. And that way, when you do post them, like to Facebook or something, someone can't get that data off of it.
Okay.
But if you've had them on and turn them off, it's already going to be on the pictures you've already taken. It doesn't magically erase them.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Simple question. I've now downloaded this to my photo library here.
Yes.
And that photo library is linked by the cloud to my MacBook Pro.
Correct.
But I don't see it appearing on my MacBook Pro.
Sometimes it does it instantly. Sometimes it takes a little while. That same thing happened to me when I was doing something for the church.
Because I think if I get it here, then I can print it.
On your Mac, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because this is pretty easy to type.
Mhm.
But I
Do
can't-
things normally sync up, Bob? Your photos?
Yes.
Okay.
I think so. It's been a long time since I've done that.
So as long as they're both connected, they both need to be connected to Wi-Fi.
Yes, and I just connected to Wi-Fi here.
So it may just take a couple minutes for the service to recognize that you're connected to Wi-Fi, and then it will do that.
Then it should come in automatically, shouldn't it?
Yes. Yep.
As a last import or something.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Or if you scroll to the bottom, it should be,
Yeah.
because it stores the pictures chronologically. So you can either click that last import icon or tab, or you can just look at the newest picture that shows up. Yeah. Yeah, when I was doing something for the church, some of the pictures and videos that I was taking wasn't showing up fast enough, so I actually manually downloaded them from my phone to my, because there was a time constraint. And I didn't have the time or the patience to wait for it to figure it out on its own. Yep. Sandy, I know you had a question or two.
Yes, the new TV, just a quick question.
Yes.
The colors are too, how do I tone down the colors?
Or two what?
Too bright, too.
Oh, okay.
Too, phony looking, kind of.
Gotcha.
That's the way to say it.
There should be a, not on your universal remote or your direct TV remote or whatever remote you have, but the one that actually came with the TV.
Yeah.
There should be a setup button on there.
Okay.
And one of the options is picture. And there are some preloaded color schemes, like warm or cool are the typical. There's normal, warm, cool, I think maybe vibrant, but there's typically 4 or 5 preloaded options for adjusting for the TV auto adjusting to those settings.
Okay.
Or below those, you should be able to manually adjust the vibrancy of the different colors, the saturation and the tint and all of those. I forget what they all are, but you can manually adjust those by ticking the bar left or right. Left would be higher and reverse that. Left would be lower, right would be higher. So if you wanted it to go brighter in terms of color or vibrancy, then you go right. If you wanted to mute it, then you go left.
Okay. That sounds pretty easy. Thank
Yep.
you.
Yeah. I think there's even like I think maybe one of the settings sometimes is movie, and that tends to dim the colors down because it thinks that you're in a dark room. And so it's going to darken the brightness of a screen, much like an iPad or a phone or a tablet or anything does on its own. It auto adjusts according, if you have that enabled. Do we all know about auto adjusting brightness on our devices? You can
You mentioned it before.
Yeah, you can turn that on, and so when you walk into a building, it will automatically start dimming the brightness on your phone because it doesn't need to be that bright, so it's easier to see. It's not quite as in your face, and it conserves battery because the higher the brightness is on a phone or a tablet, the more battery it's consuming. So it's trying to really push the light through. Yep. So yeah, I would try either one of the pre-made ones or
Okay.
adjusting it
Yeah, that's,
on your own. Yeah, it should be.
yeah. Thank
Yeah, there's you can also adjust the audio. I mean, there's a couple different features on there that you'll be able to walk through, and it's pretty simple.
you. Okay.
Anyone else have any questions?
Well, always a lot of questions with the press.
I know we all know that the Olympics are going on. So if you want to keep up to date, there's apps. There's lots of apps out there that you can download. There is the official Olympics app, which isn't so much, I discovered, for watching the Olympics, but is more for staying up to date with highlights and medal count and different things like that. But if you download the NBC Sports app, you can watch a ton of either matches that have already gone on or what's currently live at the moment. And you can also see what's coming up. And it also has clips and highlights.
Oh, wow.
And that's all videos, but it's great. I've been,
Okay. NBC.
but yeah, the NBC Sports app. So you can just download it off
How's
the store.
Your friend, your family member?
My brother-in-law,
Yes.
they won their first, well, he's the coach, so he did,
Right.
but they won their first match on Saturday.
All right.
So, and then they play again tomorrow, I think, is their next, it's pool play. So they keep playing around with the different teams until they get into the top 8, I think it is.
All right.
And then that's when it becomes the official,
Okay.
the top teams playing. But yes, thank you for asking. Actually, I downloaded they're all keeping in touch with a big giant group chat on a program called, or an app called WhatsApp. It's a messaging program.
Oh, okay.
And so I was showing Sandy some of the pictures. But yeah, so they're having a great time.
That's good.
Yeah.
What team, Pastor? Water polo?
No, beach volleyball.
Oh.
So he's the coach.
Which one's the L already?
That's not him. That's one of the players. I think that's Casey Patterson, and that's Jake Gibb. So Patterson and Gibb are the players. That's my brother-in-law right there. And that is, I don't know who. There's famous people that, like he got to meet, does anyone watch basketball?
Yes.
Irving
Oh, yeah.
for the Cavaliers. So you got to meet him. Maybe he knows him. I don't know. He might. So, so yeah. And then there's a picture this morning where he was helping them train. So he was.
Find him when they marched. Did you see?
It was like one of those things where he's like over there and you see the side of his head, but not really. Just like we were watching the match recorded because we were at a retreat this weekend, so we didn't watch it live, but we watched the recorded thing of it. And where they keep the names and the scores and everything, right behind that was him sitting in this. Because for beach volleyball, the coaches are not allowed to be on the court.
Yeah.
And so he's sitting in the stands, and it was showing he was behind the other team. It was Qatar or Qatar. I don't know is it Qatar?
Yeah.
And so it's showing that guy getting ready to serve, and Tyler was over there, blurred because the camera was focused on the player, but it was definitely him sitting there. So,
You know, maybe back to my photos, I've gone
Sure.
to the iCloud on here, and there's 3 selections. iCloud Photo Library, automatically upload and share your entire library in iCloud to access photos and videos from
Right.
all your devices.
correct.
And the next one is My Photo Stream, which apparently is a little different, automatically uploads new photos,
Right.
which was not turned on, so maybe that's why it wouldn't come forward.
Maybe.
And the third one, which was on, creates albums to share with other people.
Use that feature once, and I've not ever used it again.
The albums.
Yeah, you create an album on your phone, and then you share it with other people, and they can add pictures to that same album. I just found it.
So I'm gonna turn that off, but I wanna leave my
Yeah.
photos stream on.
Yep.
What about the first one, which uploads and stores?
The
your
photo library?
entire-
So the iCloud photo library.
It's gonna
I don't
take
know
up a
if
lot
they're.
of space. I got over 1,000 photographs here.
It'll take up a lot of space on your because that takes up your iCloud storage.
Yeah.
So, which is why I mentioned. I think it was a couple weeks when we first came back after me being gone for a couple weeks, that my iCloud storage was full because I've got a couple half-hour videos from our trip to Florida, and then all the pictures and videos from Hawaii. It just ate through my iCloud storage. So I was able to, and I had the thumb drive in my computer when I was here, and so I've got a couple gigs back now. But those half-hour videos, I haven't taken those off yet. Those take up a lot of a lot of space on your device.
I've been watching storage lately.
Mm-hmm.
When I finish a book, take one off.
Yep.
It's like, wow, what a difference. So
Yep.
I just went through all my pictures on my phone and got rid of the ones I didn't want.
Yeah.
Makes a big difference.
It does, yeah. Audiobooks are just under a gigabyte, depending on how long the book is. Movies. I don't have any movies because Beck and I buy when you go and buy a movie, like a Blu-ray or a DVD, you can get the digital copy also. I don't know. So if you read the label, we get the Blu-ray, DVD, and digital copy. And so we get you get this little code inside the flap of the case, and then you enter that code into iTunes or wherever they tell you to enter it, and you get a digital copy of the movie for you to have on your devices or stored in the cloud. And I don't have any of them downloaded onto my actual iPad because they're about 3 gigs,
Oh my
and that's
gosh,
so much space for my small hard drive on my iPad. So if I want to watch one, I need to find Wi-Fi. Otherwise, yeah, we could only because we put a couple on for Aubrey one time, and yeah, it took up like half the hard drive just to have like 3 movies on there. So, yeah.
I've got a picture sent to me by email that I want to save
Mm-hmm.
permanently. In fact, it's a really cool picture. I'll show it to you.
Oh yeah, I
Have you
saw
seen
that.
this?
Yeah, I think Bob sent it to me.
Oh, yeah, I
Which one
sent
was
it to
that?
Bob. The
Okay.
Heaven's Gate.
The Heaven's Gate.
Oh,
Galaxy.
Yeah, that was kind of, it's a photograph taken from the Hubble of something distant in the sky. And it was set up, this is Heaven's Gate. It looks kind of like a gate that might be going into heaven.
That's
Oh,
not very
cool.
fun.
It's just really, I
That
have to
was
show it to him.
It's a
Yeah,
real
Brian can put it
photograph
up.
from
It's
the
really,
Hubble.
Nope, except I just
Really unusual.
and I want to save it permanently.
closed whatever there. Okay. Nope, I did it
So
again.
you sent it to Brian. That's cool.
Yes.
I should have sent it to Brian. I sent it to you. Good job, Bob.
Let's see here. What is that button? Nope.
Did you
that
send it to
button
Steve
didn't do
also?
anything.
Yes.
Holding your finger down doesn't do anything. I'm trying to. What I'm accustomed to is if you just tap and hold a picture, it should do something with it. But it's not. Nothing is happening when I do that.
Scroll up from the bottom. Thanks.
Yeah, but
That's true. No longer.
thanks, Mark.
It's a really cool picture. It looks like it could be a Heaven's
didn't wanna-
Gate. It's really
Yeah.
No. Come on. Nope, I don't want to do any of that. Did it again. Don't want to do that. Don't want to do that. Don't want to do that.
Oh, well.
All right. So then we do what we always do is we go to Google and we say, "Hey Google."
I didn't mean to take up so much of your
No,
time. I just
no,
figured it was
no.
a simple thing that I could say.
Oh, yeah, you should. Oh my gosh.
Isn't that
Isn't that
beautiful?
Wow.
Now that is neat, Lord, my friend. I'll bring it around for you. Isn't that something? I mean, it looks like it could be. They have
That's
what
incredible.
she put, picture taken by the Space Hubble telescope.
What?
Scientists have no idea what it is about, but they call it Heaven's Gate.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
Yes, it is.
Long press, and it will come up with an option. I did that.
How about that? Wow. Very nice. Thank you.
You can go on, we can figure it out next week or something.
Well, let me
I wanna
see.
take
Let me
everybody's
see
time.
again.
Oh, where did it go? Yep, there it is.
One more try with feeling.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
He was in the building. I was looking for Kathy. Sorry.
Kathy is homesick today.
Okay, sorry.
No
all right.
problem. No, I'm not getting anything. Nope,
Okay.
I got nothing. Do you know how to take a screenshot with your phone?
No, I never can figure that out.
All right, let's do that because that's my next best option. Just press and hold the volume down and the power button at the same time.
Volume
The
Volume.
down button on the volume?
Yep.
and the power button at the same time.
Yeah.
It's not in there.
All right. So where's
This is volume up, this is volume down, there's the power.
okay.
That's how you do a screenshot.
Oh, there we go. Got
Where
it.
does it go?
Should go to your gallery.
Oh,
There it is. Screenshot.
okay. Oh, or
And
it goes in
then-
screenshots.
What you can do is,
Share.
well, that you can crop it,
Okay,
and then we'll get rid of the email part of it.
okay. Thank you.
Save. There you go.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
So Snopes has an article on gates of heaven.
Oh, or you would do that.
Yeah.
Explains. Picture.
Explain
does
this
it
picture,
say?
what's it say?
Oh, it's a piece of art. The guy took a picture of a nebula and altered it.
Oh, so it's not.
It's photoshopped.
Not from the Hubble spacecraft.
Well, the underlying picture is.
The underlying picture.
Yeah.
Like the stars and the
Oh,
reds, but the
gotcha.
things that look like pipe organs and or
Yeah.
giant gate, that's
Yeah.
all been.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Swan Nebula.
Wow. Snopes always there to debunk anything.
It's too good to be true.
Yep. Yeah. Becca got an email or it was Facebook or something somewhere saying that the old VHS Disney movies, some if they had certain covers were worth hundreds or thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
She's like, I think I have that one. And then she looked it up and Snopes said, nope, that's a spoof that's been going around for a couple of years now. Yeah, Snopes can help confirm or deny. Well, and it's also really good too if you get an email and you can plug the title of the email or the gist of the email into Snopes and it can help.
SNOPES.
Yes. Yeah, there was something going around Facebook about a year or so ago about this prehistoric shark that had been caught. Have you seen that one?
No.
That it's the world's largest shark, and it was go to Snopes and it's debunked.
Thank you for that info. It's
Sure.
good to know.
Yeah. Disappointing.
What?
Sometimes you don't want to know that.
Disappointing, yes. I'll
Yeah.
have to give my personal sympathy to the list.
Yeah.
Well, whoever sent it to you probably thought it was authentic. Like we did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep, and that's how things happen. You know, forward to a bunch of people that then gets forwarded and yeah. Yeah, and if I think we've talked about this, but if you want to take a screenshot with your iPhone or iPad, it's the physical home button where you touch with your finger and the power button.
The big round one at the bottom.
The big round one at the bottom, and then I think yours is on top since yours is older, Bob, but the power button on top.
Yeah.
You push both of those at the same time, and it'll take a screenshot of whatever is currently showing on your phone.
And where does it put it?
in your camera roll. Yep. So I've done that before. Becca does it a lot. She takes pictures of recipes and different things, screenshot them. Yep.
So that's the home button and
And the power button on the side there. Yep. Yep, that'll take a screenshot of anything. And a friend of mine actually takes screenshots of pictures she's taken because with that new parallax thing that the iPhone does, when you try to turn a picture into either your lock screen or your home screen background, it zooms the picture way in. So if you've ever tried that, if you've ever tried to turn a picture into your lock screen or home screen and it like zooms it way in and doesn't show you the whole picture,
Yes.
what she does is she'll just open up her Photos app and take a picture of the picture, a screenshot of the picture. And then when you do that, I don't know what it is about that, but it actually then it doesn't get blown up.
oh,
I think it's because that's the actual size of the picture, is the size of the screen. Whereas when you take a picture with your camera, it's actually bigger than what the actual phone can display. So then anyway.
I just discovered something that says that I had deleted several photos.
The recently deleted folder?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. 40 days.
Mm-hmm.
And it has the number.
The countdown timer.
Yeah, the countdown time. Huh. Huh.
Yep. Recently deleted photos or videos. Yeah, they'll show up in a folder.
Right.
The password is 1212 Connection Street, ST.
Yep.
Big C, big S.
Correct. Yep. Recently deleted. Oof. 712.
Oh my gosh.
It's because I went through my phone as part of clearing it out.
Right. Yeah.
Select. Delete all. It's not deleting them all. Maybe it's thinking hard about deleting all of them. It's a lot of pictures. So yeah, and that'll, again, they're only there for 40 days and it's a ticking thing. So it's not all just every 40 days, but anyway, that's still taking up space on your phone. That makes sense.
Right.
Because they're not officially gone.
Right.
Yep, just like things in your trash on your laptop or desktop computer. If it's in your trash, it's still taking up space on your computer until you empty the trash.
So to empty the trash, I just go down to the trash icon.
Yep.
And
Right click on it.
right-click, and
Click empty button.
I don't have any idea how much is in there, but probably a lot.
Anything you've ever deleted and not emptied out of could be a lot of things. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, that's something people forget about, is that trash, you throw stuff in the trash, but you don't ever take it out, so to speak.
You don't take the trash out.
Yep. So it just keeps piling up.
Doesn't start smelling though, that's.
No, unless,
You must have heard that report on Rome. They're not picking up the garbage.
Well, they're not in Rome.
No. Right.
That smells right.
yeah. So back to the sports app, the really nice thing about that is it will show you sports that maybe isn't on TV.
Oh, sure.
So but there's also a likelihood that it probably doesn't have the official commentators, but you at least get to watch it. So like I've been watching Men's USA water polo, and there's no commentators or anything, but I know what's going on, and so it's been fun to watch. Sad they lost again this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're 0-2. Lost to Croatia, and then this morning they lost to Spain. So, yep. So it is. It's really nice, and you can favorite sports, and it'll notify if you turn on notifications. It'll notify you when that sport is going live.
Oh, cool.
So if you're really into gymnastics or, yep.
Mm.
Yeah, or if you miss something because it's on at 12:30 in the morning, then you can watch it as a recorded show event on the app as well. So it's really nice. It's really helpful. And it allows them to do a lot more than not have to air everything all at once. And you can watch them on your computer, or you should be able to. You just log into your provider. You go to the NBC website, then you log into your provider and they'll let you.
Have you been experiencing any delay between the audio and the video?
Sometimes. Yep, and I've had, on the app, I've had some big, it'll freeze and then jump.
So is that a portal to is the app a way to get to the NBC stream?
Yes.
Okay. And there are other ways, I gather.
Yeah, you can go through the website.
The exchange system somehow has a deal with NBC. But my neighbor tried to use it and said that there was a real lag between the video and the audio in the stream. But it was the first night, so it may be something they've rectified since.
Yeah, it could be that. It could also, sometimes that's what's hard about internet things, is sometimes it's their end and sometimes it's your end.
Right.
And it's not always easy to figure out which is which that's actually causing the issue. Yep. Yeah, I've had that before, where I've watched things on my iPad and the audio is just way off. You know, they'll be moving their mouth and nothing's actually saying anything, and then they stop moving their mouth and then the audio picks up. And I've scrubbed forward and backward, you know, rewound and fast forwarded, and there's just something where it's just not going to fix itself. Pause it, doesn't matter. It's off, and it stays off until the episode or broadcast is over. Yep.
So a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
For a piece of software that is called an app, but it's not in the App Store and it's not in the Apple Store. And I'm thinking it's in iTunes. So what's the difference in those places? Should there be, I mean, is there discrete apps that are only in one of those, or what's the difference, I guess, between those three repositories?
So, so there are some apps that are exclusively made for the phone. There are some apps that are exclusively made for the iPad. And then there's some that are universal. So if you ever see the little plus icon in the store, that means it's made for both the phone and the tablet. If you don't see that, it's made for one or the other. And you can't see them unless you toggle a switch. But I think you can only do that on the iPad. So if you're looking on your phone for an app that's only made for the iPad, it won't show it to you.
Well,
and vice versa.
for some
And the Mac store, the Apple store, and that's where Windows is trying to one-up Apple right now, is that Windows has I think they call it UWP, Universal Windows Program, and developers are encouraged, if not required now, to make their apps play on all devices. So if you've got a Windows phone, a Windows tablet, and a Windows computer, and you buy something, let's say you buy Garmin navigation system, you then get it for your phone and your tablet and your laptop or desktop on all devices, and it works natively on all devices and scales. So that's part of the problem with some of these things, and why some are made only for one device or the other, is that scaling the image can be an issue. So, but yeah, so currently the app store for the laptop and desktop is completely separate from the iOS, the phone and the tablet.
So this comes up, it comes up on the laptop. If I search for it I'm in iTunes.
Okay. Yeah, and iTunes is kind of
It's an iTunes preview.
how would you describe it? You can download apps from iTunes. It's like an extra way to do it.
But I can't find it in iOS.
What is it?
It's called WDS Pro, Wildfire Defense Systems Pro.
Let's see what we can find here. And
Apparently this thing, if you get into it, you can go around and take pictures of your house, and these guys will produce a firewise kind of defense plan for your house.
Really?
This was just from the search and not from the actual website itself that I'm now clicking on. Oh wait, wireless? No.
Wildfire Defense Systems.
Wildfire.
And I'm seeing it in the iTunes or in the App Store.
Wildflower Defense.
Fire, not
Fire.
fire.
I'll get there eventually. Systems, iOS. Yeah, I see WDS Pro on the App Store. All right, let's take a little trip to the App Store and see what we can find. I got it. Did you do it all as one word on your phone?
I think so.
No space between.
And where I've got WDS Pro.
Yep.
On my phone.
Yep. All is one word.
Oh, yeah.
No space between the S and the Pro.
So where are you? You're in
Just in the App Store, not iTunes. App Store, search. That's all I type. So if you put a space, this is one of the frustrating things, and I don't know if the Google Play Store does the same thing, but one of the things I find frustrating with the App Store is if you're looking for a specific app and you spell it wrong at all, there's no grace. There's no grace whatsoever. And I've done that a lot lately. I've typed in the name of an app, and there's a A and S are right next to each other, and I'm supposed to put an A in there, and then I accidentally punch the S with my finger, and it says nothing came up, and so then you have to retype the whole thing, or you have to scroll over and delete the S and change it to an A. There's no grace. And like if you put a space between the S and the Pro, it's not going to find it. It's just, to me, that's garbage. Is the nice word that I'm going to use.
That was
It's not the first word that came to my mind.
Oh, I've got something come up that says alarms only, and I've gone into my settings and tried to turn off the alarms only, and it's still coming up, and I can't get in now or anything.
Until you turn in.
That's what I get for playing with my phone, huh?
That's right. Never play with your phone.
Yeah, right.
Do you know where the do not disturb feature is?
It's in my settings. I can go to that immediately, but, well, usually when I'm by myself, I can.
There's do not disturb.
Maybe I turn my phone off and back on. It works.
Huh. I don't know what that's about.
Turn it.
Nor like on the phone, there's a do not disturb feature also, but there's just a
Turn it off
toggle
and back.
switch that turns it off and on.
Yeah.
All right. What else do we have? Anything?
No, I'm listening.
Just listening?
Yeah.
Good.
Oh, okay, mention more about the iPhone that's coming out.
Well, there's just all kinds of crazy stuff. There's and it's hard to figure out, and obviously we won't know until. I think the prediction is that September 13th is going to be the press event for the new iPhone, and I've seen like 4 videos out there now of the new phone. One of them claims that it's blue. There's going to be a blue version. You know, the casing. We've got the space gray and the silver and the white and the gold and now rose gold. Well, now some person has a blue one in their possession, and they're not real phones. They're just what would you call it? They're mock-ups. And the reason why they're out there supposedly is they're out there so that companies like cell phone cases and headphone companies and those people can create the products for them before they release, so that you've actually got those products available to you. But the problem is right now is that we also live in an age where 3D printing exists. We've talked about 3D printing in the past, and I still haven't ever brought it in. Man, I'm bad about that. I'll bring it in someday, but I had something 3D printed. But you can 3D print stuff, and so anybody could have 3D printed these and sold them or shipped them for free, however they did it to these people. And these cases, these mock-ups could be completely false. But there's one that shows it that one of the new color schemes for the iPhone is blue. One of them has the dual camera, which we've talked about on the Plus or the Pro model, which seems to be to help increase in low light settings. I saw one that has 3 little metal bars on the back for induction charging, similar to what the Apple Watch has, so that you're not actually plugging it in the Lightning port, which would mean that the Lightning port is reserved exclusively for headphones, because the headphone jack, every model I've seen, the headphone jack is gone. And there's a second set of speakers, so you've got stereo speakers. And so then the rumors are that they're developing headphone or Lightning headphones.
What are lightning?
Well, this is the Lightning port, is what they call it.
Okay.
So your headphones would plug into this
At the bottom,
at the bottom.
which
But-
one is the lightning?
It's your charger, your charging port.
Now, what are the other two?
That's your one. The regular hole is your headphone jack, and the other one is your external speakers. So if you ever put your phone on speakerphone or anything like that, that's what those are your speakers. That's where it's coming from. Listening
So,
to
and there are
music.
several pinholes there, a lot of them.
Yep, those are the speakers.
So there's a device that would plug right into that.
No, it would plug into the. Well, that's part of the rumor. One of the things that Becca read, she's like, you should be proud of me, and I said I am, is that it doesn't make sense for it because, like I said, all of them show that there's no headphone jack. The old 35 millimeter. I mean, that's been around since forever. I mean, ever since there was listening to devices, a headphone jack has been existed, and it's analog. It's not really digital, and so anytime you actually plug this in, you're actually getting worse quality than you should of what's actually on your device, which is why a lot of people listen to have Bluetooth headsets, and Bluetooth produces a much better quality, and it's wireless. One of the things Becca read was that why would Apple create Lightning headphones? Because that is, all of this technology is about going forward. And so removing the headphone jack is about moving forward, getting rid of something that's been around for, 60 years, maybe more. And that creating a Lightning jack, although it's digital, isn't moving forward, it's moving sideways. And so she said that it would make more sense for Apple to develop Bluetooth headsets to come with your new iPhone than it would be for a Lightning headset. Because it's a step sideways, not a step forward. So the camera is going to be, they don't know if it's going to actually be a better megapixel camera, but every mock-up shows that the camera lens itself is bigger, which means that the micron count is going to be higher. And so the more microns you can fit, the more, if I'm saying this right, I could be saying this wrong, but anyway, the more pixels you can fit per image. And so you're not actually, or not pixels, the pixels are bigger. And so the bigger the pixel, the more color is allowed into each individual one, which means the picture is better, even though the actual megapixel count isn't greater. So, and that's what they've done a couple times, is they've figured out a way to get more into the image without actually increasing the megapixel count of the phone or of the lens, because then you'd have to get a bigger lens. Eventually you just have to stop, which is why if you ever look up like is it LG? No. Who does the Lumia phones? Yeah, the Lumia 520. Let's see if we can let me see if I can show you a picture of the Lumia 520 on the back side of it. No longer available. That's not helpful. The Lumia 520. There we go. There's the back side of the phone. That's the camera.
Wow.
And I forget, something like a 48 megapixel camera.
Well,
So supposed to, and the nice thing about having something like that, and what they've shown in the commercials when it first came out, was you could be in the back of a concert, and we can all digital zoom with our cameras on our phones, but because it's not such a high megapixel count, the more you zoom, the more pixelated it gets. With 48 megapixels, you can zoom, but you've got so many pixels to work with that zooming doesn't really decrease the quality of the picture. And so that's what the huge selling point for this phone was. I don't know if it actually did well, but that was the whole selling point of the phone, was you've got a phone and then you've got this massive, amazing quality camera on the back. So instead of going for something like that, Apple is trying to get more out of the same size lens by making the microns or something. They're like 1.54 now, so they might increase them to something bigger. So you're just getting more out of the same picture, or the same size megapixel and same size lens. Although the lens looks a little bit bigger, so maybe it is going up. I don't know, that's about it. Again, they're still saying that probably waiting until 2017 to release a hugely new designed phone. So a lot of people that don't upgrade all the time are upset, because they've been waiting for this phone and now have to wait another year for one that's they think is going to be mind-blowing.
And a year after that.
Yep. Well, but the reason why 2017 is such a huge deal is because it's the 10th anniversary of the iPhone. So everyone's predicting that Apple's going to pull all the stops to make the next iPhone after this one the big iPhone. So whether or not that means that wireless charging is for that phone, or a lot of phones are getting into being not waterproof, water resistant. So the 7 that's coming out may or may not be. Getting rid of the headphone jack definitely increases its water resistance in general. So whether or not they save that for the next year, they also predict that next year they're probably going to call it the 8 and not do the S as they have been the last several cycles, because it's supposed to be a big jump. But again, because Apple is so hush hush, you won't actually. And with the mock-ups, you can only ever see the design difference. You're never going to actually know what they've done with the phone. And the only other thing, which is not a huge deal, if you take the case off your phone, you see the antenna bands go here and here. All the mock-ups show it going around the perimeter. I always have a case on, so it doesn't really bother me design-wise that goes around and not across. So,
Have you seen the ads for the Galaxy S7?
the Note 7,
I'm not sure. It's whatever
the
that is
Note, it's
on,
yep,
yeah.
it's coming
But
out.
it's water resistant. It's got
Yep.
the pen
It's the Note
integrated
7.
into it.
Yep. It's
So-
because it's the Note 7, because
Okay.
it's the Note.
Oh, okay.
It's
So if us
Yes.
Apple people, what would we lose if we got one of those phones? Because that's pretty intriguing.
it is. It also
Advertising.
has the whatchamacallit. The screen goes and the screen curves around to the edge of the phone, so there's no, and that's one thing it has shown with the iPhone is it still has what do you call it?
Bezel.
Yeah, along the sides. There's still a bezel along the sides, and so there's lots of missed space, so to speak. But if you look here, which it's not a very big picture, but the Note 7, it curves around to the edge, so the screen covers the entire front of the phone. Yeah, and then the bottom corner right here, you push in and a pen pops out. So it's a Note version. So it's the Galaxy Note. So it's the 5.5 inch, which is just like the larger iPhone. So it comes with a pen built into it. It does induction charging. So there's this little round device that you just put on your nightstand or whatever, and you just set your phone on it and it charges. And it has the water, the video, the commercials show them pulling the phone out of the water. Very dramatically, obviously.
So what functionality would we lose if we went to that?
Functionality,
Connectivity, anything?
you can still make it work, but not everything would. Your messages won't come across through all 3 devices. Like I can message on both my phone and my iPad and my Mac, all from the same account. So that won't be there. The iCloud, instantly uploading photos and things. You can still get your photo, like if you have a Google account, it'll upload to the Google Photos library, in which you can get from a web browser, or if you download the app, then I think they make it for the Mac, then you can download it. So,
Do you have a sense of, what are the kids buying? Is iPhone still leading the league, or are these things catching up?
Our kids had some, one of them explicitly told me he's buying the Note 7. Some of the other kids, most of the chargers on our retreat, when I went and plugged my phone in, I had to find which iPhone charger was mine.
Yeah.
So a lot of them have iPhones. I'm intrigued by this. I do like I like the water resistance. I like the edge-to-edge screen. The stylus pen doesn't really affect me one way or the other.
For us fat fingered people, but
Yeah.
it would help.
The induction charging is really nice. Not having, because that's one less cord. And I've noticed, I don't know if I've been rougher on them, but I've noticed lately that my cords are failing or like the outer coating is peeling off of one of them. Another one is failing. I'll come up in the morning and my iPad will say it's only at 60% and it'll actually say not charging on my iPad. And that one's third party, but still I've noticed a lot of that. So having induction charging where you just set it on and there's no trying to make it fit right into a charging hole is nice. And having dropped my phone in the mud in Hawaii, having it be water resistant, or because mud is partially water, is nice. I slipped in the mud, threw Aubrey into the mud, and dropped my phone because I was trying to take a picture. And sure enough, mud went straight into my headphone jack.
Oh.
And so it eventually dried out and it came out and my phone's been working fine since. But for about 12 hours, I could get no sound out of my phone because apparently the mud acts like a headphone jack or something, or a headphone plug.
Same.
So there was no sound. Could not listen to music, could not have my GPS maps app tell me where to turn. Because it all thought the headphones were plugged in, and so it was talking to the headphones. So that's nice. So it is nice that if Apple does do that. The other big thing, which is probably my main reason, besides the fact that I've now got a family of Mac stuff sitting in front of me, or Apple stuff, is anything that I've ever purchased on the App Store, I'd have to repurchase again. And for me, I mean, it's not tons of money, but it's enough that I probably won't do it. A couple of years ago, I might have, but.
Well, they're setting the bar pretty high for
They are.
Apple to catch up.
I know. There's things back and forth. When they announced the Note, they actually, even though it's still a rumor, one of the first things they did to poke fun at Apple was getting rid of the headphone jack. But and a lot of people are upset with the mock-ups that there's no headphone jack. But at the same time, it's moving forward. So there's back and forth. Samsung has been leading in terms of water-resistant phones and the induction charging. Apple led with the Touch ID, and they're now pushing hard into the 3D Touch, so that a lot of it's more. I don't know if Samsung has that. They might. And the Apple Pay, now there's Samsung Pay. So, they're constantly reacting to each other, and it just depends on which you're more interested in. Is the 3D touch and the live photos and those kinds of things more important to you, or is the having the entire screen on the front of your phone and the pen, the stylus, and all of those things? It's which features are most important to you, and is the trade-off worth it? So that's a hard thing to answer.
We'll be right back.
It's a hard thing to answer for yourself, let alone to advise someone else on it. So
Thanks, Master.
yeah, no problem. But it is. I've been looking at the Note 7, and it's very tempting with those features.